Right, Rach, where are we staying?
So this time we are going to be staying at Portesham Dairy Farm Campsite, which is in West Dorset.
In Portesham?
In Portesham.
Yeah, where's that?
It's sort of between Dorchester and Weymouth, kind of.
More Bridport and Weymouth.
Definitely West Dorset.
I think we're probably about 15 minutes away from Weymouth. But anyhow, what we'll do is we'll show you, because we're going to go to Portland, aren't we? And near Bridport, there's something we're going to go and check out there, isn't there? And we'll give you a site tour of where we're staying.
Yeah, and keep your eye out, because we might have some footage that's different to what we've done before.
Yes, from the air.
Ooh.
Right, yeah, follow us along and we'll see what we get up to. So you come through Portesham to the entrance of the campsite, which is just here. It's plenty of turning. We've got a twin axle Caravan. Got in here, no problem whatsoever. And when you come in here, you've got a little hut just on the right hand side, which is there, which is the reception. Now, on this campsite, you don't actually need to go to the reception. It's because they email you the day before you're due to arrive and they tell you your pitch number. And when you drive in, which I will show you, there's some bollards and a camera, and the camera detects your number plate. So what you can do is you drive straight in, straight up to the bollards, detects your number plate, the bollards go down into the ground, and then you can go straight to your pitch. So there's actually no need to go to reception. But apparently you can go to reception if you want to say hello.
And they're really friendly.
And they are friendly. Yes, very friendly. So that's the reception just there on the right. And you can just see in the distance, I will walk up there in a minute and show you the bollards and how to get in. But on the left here...
It's something I am very excited about.
Are you really?
I am.
Why are you excited about this?
Because I am a sucker for a milk vending machine.
Milk vending machine. Yeah, you are. This is a bit different. So this is they call it a vending shop, and it's open, as you can see, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now on this sign, as you can see, it does things like milkshake, fresh juice, coffee, all sorts of things. Yeah, soft drinks, breakfast items, pies, sweets, snacks, and doggy yum yum.
I'm presuming that's not edible dogs. I'm presuming that's treats.
So let's have a look. Now this is actually the first time we've been in here, so we haven't even been in to have a look. Now I'm guessing this is milk machine. Yeah, it's a milk machine, but they also do milkshakes.
Yeah.
You can see that.
So actually it's quite reasonable. So from £1.20, but you normally have to purchase one of the glass bottles if you don't already have them first, but they are reusable.
They look like they got a coffee machine, and then this is weird. Okay, so they got a vending machine, you've got daddy sauce in there, tomato ketchup, and some orange? That's the colour of the bottle.
Frylight.
Frylight, yeah.
So these are your milk bottles that you can buy.
Yeah,
so about £2.75, which isn't bad.
See that? They also do these bottles here.
Yeah. So you can purchase those flasks.
£20 each. Oh no, it says 14 there. But there's a label on them that says 20. Anyhow,
you can get clover.
God, you can get clover. And a loaf of bread. And in a vending machine.
You can buy.
This is really cool.
Oh, no, this is exciting. You can pay £9 for a bag of pretend money.
Okay.
Tokens for your laundry.
Let's move on. So in this one, they've got a bit more normal. They've got chocolate at the top, cans of drink, breakfast items, and then they've got pastries? No, Cornish pasties.
Hang on, I just need to ask a question.
And steak. They got steak in a vending machine.
I think that might be bacon. Oh no, it is rump steak.
It's steak, yeah, I thought it was.
I need to ask you a question.
Go on then.
What is the difference between a normal oat and a jumbo oat?
I don't know. What is the difference between a normal oat and a jumbo oat?
I don't know.
Well, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Are they like massive plants, triffids? Does it come from a triffid?
Probably. Right, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is ice cream, is it?
This is your gelato or ice cream.
Ice cream. And at the end, wow, that is huge.
We might have to buy some orange juice from here, just because I like watching it squish.
That is massive. Now, I'm not particularly very tall anyhow, but this has got to be nearly 7 foot tall. Oh, probably 6 foot, because I'm not that tall. But this is cool. This is the biggest orange juice machine I have ever seen.
£4 a glass.
Wow, is it really?
But we might come and have a go at that, because I like the entertaining of the oranges being squeezed.
Yeah. So just outside, it gives you all the different flavours of the gelato. There's loads of them.
Gelato, darling.
Gelato.
It's Italiano.
Oh,
Ciao,
right?
Bella.
Oh, I'm not Italian. Okay, there you go. Loads of different flavours.
So we might have to later on get a salted caramel ice cream, just so we can tell our children how lovely it is, because that's their favourite flavour.
On the right here, there is, as you come in, they've got a big block in the way, but they've got a couple of picnic tables just up there, so you can eat your lunch or whatever if you want to. What's this here?
That is a thingamajob Ouija flip.
A Ouija flip.
A thingamajob Ouija flip. I would say this is a weighing scales.
It is a weighing scales. Go on, and how much do you weigh?
How chumba you are.
Stand on it. It doesn't
work.
Look,
I only weigh 2.
2?
2. I'm
not even gonna attempt it.
You shouldn't ask a lady to weigh herself, then refuse to do it yourself.
I came out of my coma and I weigh 68 kilos, which isn't very much. And I had to go to hospital yesterday, and I'm now 80. So
he's been eating well.
I've been eating quite a lot since I've been out of hospital. All right, I'm just going to show you. There's another picnic bench, and it says public footpath. Now I don't know where that goes to. We might have to investigate. But the problem being is I can't walk too far. Right, just over in reception. It's a bit weird, really. I find it a bit strange that they've got a list of items that you can purchase on the outside of the little hut here.
It's really cool. So it's kind of like if you forget something like a razor or...
Well, I can read it from here. Shower gel, shampoos, shaving foam. Oh, I'm not going to go through all of it. But a lot of toiletry type things.
Toiletry, campany bits, snacky bits.
TV lead. I can see TV lead or charcoal barbecue. So there's no shop, but you have to ask for those items, and I guess they'll sell them to you. No prices, but I'm sure they'll tell you what they are.
I can't help but think that this must be what it's like when you're in prison and you go to the commissary to spend your well-earned money from doing the laundry.
How do you know that?
Well, there might have been something I haven't told you.
No, is there really?
Yeah, I've escaped from Alcatraz. No, I've watched lots of Orange is the New Black, or Orange is the Only Black.
Yeah, but that's American programme.
I know, but it's
Might
real
be different.
life, isn't it?
I've not been to prison. My wife's not been to prison. We've never been in trouble with the police either. Let's put this completely straight.
But I reckon that's definitely what commissary would be like.
Anyhow, they've got, let's move on. They've got gas here as well, which is really handy.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to buy that in prison.
No, probably not, or this caravan. So anyhow, moving on, what I was going to show you was when you do come, like I said, you get your pitch number before you come, 24 hours before you come, and you drive up to here, and it's got
bollards.
Bollards here.
Magically disappear.
Yeah, so the camera reads your number plate, and then as long as you're on the list, you can come on in.
I would say if you've got a vehicle that's got quite a high front, it is hard to see when the bollards are completely down.
Yeah,
so
but
make sure you check.
Yeah, don't worry about that, because there is just here a green light and a red light. Right, just over on the right hand side here, there is actually a permanent building for services. So, Rachel, you're going to go in yours. Oh no, let's go in this one first. Dishwashing.
Do you know what dishwashing is?
No. What's dishwashing?
You know that magic thing when you get plates and they're really mucky? and then they just
we've got
reappear back in the cupboard.
Children and a dishwasher. Oh, this is quite cool.
Do you know what's really
really
good?
Clean.
Is having these baskets that stop everything from sitting in it as well, which means it
Yeah, that's
drains
quite
really
cool.
well.
Yeah, it looks nice. Right,
They've got really posh taps as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
posh taps.
All touch
Yeah,
sensitive.
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Posh
Which
taps.
is unusual for washing up.
Right,
isn't it?
next door. I'll just go around here. Here is the laundry.
The laundry dry.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
No, that's where the magic clothes come out.
And we go on in. Oh, information leaflets, loads of them to get the information. And then they've got one
Washing machine.
and one tumble dryer. That's fair
Which
enough.
you can buy your tokens from the vending machines.
Can you really?
That's what I showed you. You can buy a bag of pretend money for real money.
Oh, that's what
To
it's
use in
for.
there. I told you that.
Oh, okay.
Right, let me
Right.
just check there's no one going for a tinkle in the ladies and I'll take you in for a quick look and have a look. So in the ladies, we've got some really nice sinks, hairdryer, really clean in here. 3 toilets that you know, just normal toilets, and then also 3 shower cubicles. Again, similar to the other showers we showed you earlier, which have got a fixed head and a wand, but really, really clean, really nice toilets.
Right, these in front of us are the showers. It looks like it's like some called a mobile hut of some type. But actually, when you go in, you just go in here, you'll see they're actually really nice. They've got a shower head just there, but also they've got this attachment here. I don't know, what do you call it? A wand? And then the controls just there.
Really nice bit of space, isn't it, in there?
Yes, yeah, they're quite big.
Really clean, actually, as well.
Yeah, very clean. And green. Very green on the outside.
Clean and green.
Clean and green. Next door to the showers. Oh, actually, this must be a washing up facility. So you can wash up things. Plates and bowls and cooking utensils. That's what I'm guessing. And then next door is some swings and some slides for your little ones.
All your big ones, Tim. I have to keep an eye on you with that one. I don't think you're ready for swings and slides yet.
No, I can just about walk a couple hundred yards, let alone swings and slides. But next door, there's another green hut, which these are toilets. So you've got the ladies on the left here, and then the guys on the right. And actually, I'm going to take you in because this looks like a temporary hut, but it's really posh. These sinks here, and the urinals, and you can see himself in the middle. Yeah, it's really posh in here. That's amazing. They look like they're just temporary though. It's not a permanent building.
How many cubicles have you got in your one?
2.
So in the ladies, you've actually got 4 cubicles.
Yep.
Really clean toilets as well, really
Yeah,
nice.
they are clean, yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. Next door from the toilets, this little building here. This is where you put all your rubbish. So I'll just have to sit down for a couple of minutes and we'll start again. And this building here is for, it's your Elson point. It's Elson in here and a sink if you want to wash your hands. And what's up there, Rachel?
Stairs.
Just steps.
No, there is a lovely walk, but I'll see if there's another way we can get up there that goes right along and then also down into a field.
Yeah, because
It's really pretty.
I don't do steps very well at the moment, as some of you might have watched my other videos that we've done about me not being too well, and I'm still recovering from my strength at the moment, so I can't go up steps very easily.
I think if I'm right, you're permitted to have barbecues here as well.
Yep.
So that's where you get your bricks from for your barbecue.
Oh yes, that's right.
To make sure it's elevated
I
off the
read
floor.
that in the pamphlet they give you, which is quite interesting. So you can have barbecues, you can't have fires, as long as you keep the barbecue and off the ground, and you can come and get your bricks from just here. So they actually supply bricks, which is very unusual. I've never seen that in any of the campsites that I've ever been to. Now, you're probably going to tell me now that loads of them do it, but I've just not noticed it. Have you ever noticed it, Rach?
We've never needed bricks for our Caddock.
No, we haven't ever needed. Have you ever noticed though? I've never noticed them.
I think I've seen them. Litchip Manor, I think, had some for raising stuff off, which is either barbecues or fire pits, but I can't remember 100%.
Yeah, I definitely can't remember. That's another problem I got with my. Since I've been out of hospital, I can't remember things.
Do you remember who I am?
I remember who you were.
That's good then.
You're probably one of the only people I knew who was. I can't even talk now. You were the only person I knew when I came out of my coma. And I mean, I can laugh about it now, but when I came out, my two kids, one at the age of 16 and another one at 18, come and visited me when I was out, and I hadn't got a clue who they were.
You spent about a week thinking that our daughter was a ward volunteer, didn't you?
I didn't know who they were. No, I didn't think that, but I generally didn't know who they were, and it took a few days for me to actually say, look, who are these people? I thought they were obviously something to do with me because they kept calling me Dad, but I couldn't remember them, put it that way. So yeah, we can laugh now at it, but at the time it was a little bit upsetting. Anyhow, let's show you some.
This site is situated within the Dorset landscape, a designated area of outstanding natural beauty. Originally started over 40 years ago by the Doble family to diversify their farming activities, now becoming a focus of daily operations. The farm no longer maintains a dairy herd and has transitioned into crop-based arable farming. Choose from a range of pitches: standard, grass pitches offering shared water and waste facilities; semi-serviced, grass or hard standing pitches offering shared water and waste, but with an additional 16-amp electrical hookup; fully serviced, hard standing pitches with personal water, waste and 16-amp electrical hookup; super, hard standing or grass pitches with all fully serviced facilities, plus an additional digital TV hookup point. Depending on your setup needs and personal preferences, there are lots of options to choose from.